Good evening. Welcome to the June 2026 TOC Zoning Board of Appeals. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I'll ask Mr. Young to lead us.
Pledge allegiance to the flag to the republic of the nation
We're going to follow the agenda. Looks like all the agendas are gone. But when I call your name, come to the podium, state your name and address. Mr. Young will then read your request. Afterwards, the board will ask you questions about your request. Afterwards, any board member, anybody in the audience can talk for or against the project. Normally, we make a decision tonight. If we don't make it tonight, we will table it. We'll ask you to come back next month, which will be July 15th. Okay, so we're going to start with the table items. Barclay Damon, 850 Arrow Drive. Evening.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the Zoning Board of Appeals. My name is Ari Goldberg from the law firm of Barclay Damon, representing the petitioner.
Okay, the applicant, Ari Goldberg, Esquire of Barclay Damon LLP, representing Student Transportation of America for the partial at 850 Arrow Drive, is seeking to renew the temporary use permit for the use of commercial automotive fleet storage and servicing, of which is not a permitted use within an M2 general manufacturing districts. You have the floor.
Thank you.
Reason we tabled it, you were here last time, right?
My colleague Charles
Right.
was here, but I did listen to the hearing. I spoke with him.
Right, we've been giving you a temporary variance for, I think, 2016. And at certain points, we all said that, that he had a master plan of some sort. Because, temporary variance is meant to be temporary, 2 years, but we can extend it. But this has been an extraordinary long time.
Right.
So when I asked, do you have any plans, to move or to maybe redistrict?
Sure. So it's been an extraordinary long time, but it's also an extraordinary set of circumstances. This property is located in the M2 zoning. That's the town's highest zoning. Right. But that M2 list of permitted uses doesn't say anything about bus storage or this use. This use is expressly permitted in MS. So that would be a down zone from M2 to MS, and it would then authorize lists of all the permitted uses in MS subject to the town zoning regime. Another complicating factor in rezoning is that we are not the property owner. Student Transportation of America is the long-term tenant, so we would need landlord buy-in, and we wouldn't want to necessarily encumber the landlord's future ability to lease that property back out to all the host of M2 uses that are available. That includes truck terminal. So if tomorrow we got rid of all the buses, put a bunch of trucks on that property, we wouldn't have to come before this board. And that's what I'm trying to say is it's just a weird quirk and an extraordinary predicament of your zoning code. Recognizing that in 2014, when we first got our approval, or maybe it was 2016 after the second approval, and some comments from you, Mr. Chair, at that time, worked with then Planning Director Daniel Latowski, who iterated that future comprehensive zone changes would perhaps relieve this issue. We took stock in that. We waited. We renewed again. Dan left. COVID hit. We then worked with Rick Coburn on a zone text amendment. That's where you take one specific line of your zoning code. Specifically, this would be one specific line of your M2 zoning code, and you would add in that fleet storage is permitted, which would be defined to include bus storage. Rick retired. That went nowhere. It was very early in Dan Young's career, your current planning director. Since our last meeting, we've again reached out to him, and his position is you must file a rezoning application. But with all due respect to that position, I don't think that's good advocacy on behalf of my client if I said, just go ahead and downzone to MS. I don't think that's feasible given their relationship with the landlord. And I also am looking for more guidance from the planning department on its long-term vision for this area of the town. We've now contacted members of the town board to possibly discuss a zone text amendment or a rezoning. Those options are still out there, and we haven't made any headway on that since the last meeting, other than reaching out to the planning department. So in recognition of those extraordinary circumstances, I think it makes sense to take extraordinary action by the Zoning Board of Appeals and once again issue a temporary use permit for this business in the town of Cheektowaga that is becoming a victim of change in administration and just a weird quirk of your zoning code. I think I've said that a couple of times now. I'll try to move away from that phrase. Look, you have a use that is well situated on Arrow Drive. It has access to Transit Road and to other means to get north-south. We serve the buses here serve the Williamsville Central School District. They've renewed their contract in cooperation with the landlord. They've made some recent site improvements. They're invested in the site. It's a good employer of local people. They patronize the businesses. This is a business that's thriving in Cheektowaga, and we've come to you for the necessary zoning relief, given that we don't have as many avenues as perhaps other applicants before you.
Okay.
I'd also want to direct your attention to the standards under 120. Sorry, I don't think that's the section. It's your temporary use permit standards under section 26078 of your code. With respect to those particular conditions, none of the responses has changed. The application is in harmony with the general purposes of the zoning law. Similar uses, more intensive uses, are permitted as of right in M2. Storage yards, truck terminals could go there. Far more intrusive than a bus terminal that's been operating there for over a decade. Application will not depreciate the value of adjacent properties. The adjacent properties are committed to similar, if not more intense uses. This has been there for 10 years, and I'm not aware of any zoning complaints or things that would traditionally depreciate value of the property. Application will not create a hazard to health, safety, or general welfare. This property is designed to accommodate the exact proposed use that's been added for 10 years with improvements made. And then the last criteria, the application will not alter the essential character of the neighborhood or be detrimental to residents. Proposed use, existing use of the bus storage is far less intensive, in my opinion, than a truck terminal also permitted. So within those criteria under the temporary permit, I think we do achieve all of them. And as to my other points, I understand we've been here multiple times for the renewal of a temporary use permit, but I agree with you, Mr. Chair. It's extraordinary, as are the circumstances. Any questions from the board? I'm here to answer.
More about this zone text. Mr. Young is not for it.
Mr. Young has not expressed an opinion for or against it. And by Mr. Young, it's not Mr. Young on the board, it's Dan Young.
Dan Young. I understand.
You guys aren't related, Ken?
No. So this was discussed with the previous code enforcement officers.
Yeah. This is my, I think, third time before you on this matter. And I remember your words. I remember when Justin Young was on the board saying the same thing. Be proactive about this. And the history that I've provided to you is an effort to demonstrate we have been proactive, but we're being proactive within the town's available avenues and within the town's changing administration.
So what you're saying is that the town basically should change its code to include fleets under that zoning, under the M2 zoning, and that way buses fit it.
I think that would be a great zone text amendment. I'm happy to, as a representative of student transport, re-engage in a conversation with members of the town about that. I don't know who the best, probably directly to maybe give Tom Fowler a call or something like that to start the process. I don't know.
It's the places.
Well, you were on the board, right? Yeah. But that is an avenue. I mean, we could look at code interpretations of existing defined uses, but I wouldn't want to hamstring the town with anything like that. And that's also part of why the temporary use permit is specific solely to us. And we have to come back every 2 years. So it doesn't affect anyone else. A zone text amendment would apply to the whole town. An MS would apply to the entire property until the town changed it or another applicant changed it.
To get, I mean, to change the code takes time,
That is correct.
you know, so I know you guys need this taken care of. You can't wait. I'd be in favor of giving them the 2-year extension and hopefully I hope this hashed out in between. Hopefully, with the condition, that's a condition.
It's like we're like making progress, but we're also looping back. And yeah, we're getting
Right. Yeah, that was my thought too.
okay.
You know, condition it on working with the town to including transportation as a zoning text as part of the M2 coding district.
Okay.
Anybody else? Okay, I'll make that motion to grant a 2-year variance ending June 30th, 2028, with the condition that you contact the town, either town attorney or the planner, and work on a zoning text where your application will be included in the M2 district. Okay, over a second.
I'll second.
Okay, on the motion, Mrs. Kramer,
Aye.
Mr. Young,
Aye.
Ms. Alt.
Aye.
Now vote aye. You're all set.
Thank you all.
Hopefully we can put this to bed in 2 years.
We'll see.
Okay.
I hope so too.
We okay. Thank you.
I'm on the next one too, so I'm okay.
Okay, but my mistake, and I said we're going to the agenda. I didn't do it. We need the approval of the minutes. Anybody will make a motion?
To approve the minutes of the May zoning board minutes.
Second it.
Motion by Mrs. Amherst, second by Mr. Young to approve the minutes of May 2026. All in favor, say aye. Okay, thank you. Okay, Marcus Klein, 84 Kilbourne Road.
Well, hi, my name is Marcus Klein, and this is my fiance Jennifer. And we're coming back before you again.
Speak to the microphone, please.
We're coming back before you to there was a change that you guys wanted us to put siding on the front of the pole barn instead of having the metal siding.
Right.
And we had spoke with our
Okay, before you go into that, I'm going to read your request. The applicant Marcus Klein of 84 Kilbourne Avenue is proposing the construction of a detached garage, which will be 14 feet in height, whereas zoning law states the maximum height of any accessory structure is 12 feet. Now you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Young. I'm also reintroducing myself as Ari Goldberg from the law firm of Barclay Damon, representing Ms. Hoffman and Mr. Klein. I want to start by handing the board. Is this just this? Okay. Okay. The first thing is a written letter from James Lewis, who is one of your neighbors on the west side.
the rights.
Yes.
A letter from neighbor abutting proposed pole barn.
Let me have Mr. Young read this into the record.
To whom it may concern, I am the neighbor of Marcus Klein and Jennifer Hoffman and reside at 88 Kilbourne Road in Cheektowaga. Marcus and Jennifer have spoken to me about building the pole barn on many occasions, and I am aware of their plans. They are good neighbors, and they are only improving the neighborhood. Please approve the height variance on behalf of the neighborhood. Thanks, James Lewis. And it was dated 6/17/26.
Again, the height was not in question right now. It's the base, the front of the building.
Correct, but isn't the variance before you
Yes.
for the 2 feet in height?
But we wanted that as a condition.
Okay. So I know that they took that to heart. I think also true to the words of the neighbor, what Jen and Marcus are proposing now is to take that front facade and side it at your direction,
Right.
same as the house.
Right.
So it would match, the front facade would match, and then the only thing that would be, I guess, for consideration of the board as a detriment would just be that 2 feet in height, since we've addressed some of the aesthetic
Right.
concerns you raised last month.
Are you gonna like coordinate it with your house color wise? It's gonna be, so it won't stick out, you know?
We have extra siding.
Okay.
The audience wishes to comment? Do I have a motion?
Make the motion to grant the variance as requested with the conditions that you're gonna put siding up same color as the main house,
Same color and same material, similar
all
material.
around, right?
No,
No, just the
No.
front.
just the front
Just the
facade,
front, you're
Just
not gonna
yes.
do the sides.
Just the front,
because only the front has the public facing element.
right? Right. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, a motion by Mr. Young, second by Ms. Alt, to grant the variance as requested, 15 feet, with the condition that the front of the pole barn facing the street will be of the same or similar material and color as the house. On the motion, Mrs. Hammer, Mr. Young,
Aye.
Ms. Alt,
Aye.
and I vote aye.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I was like, hey, Eric. Ralph, when you got voted.
He's not, he never logged on. I sent him the link twice. Yeah.
I was just making a comment that we have normally 5 members. One of our members is in the hospital, but many times he's online in Zoom call. And he expressed he wanted to be on today, but it didn't work out. So we only have 4 members, but you still need 3 votes to get your variance granted, okay? 280 Pine Ridge Road. 280, what did I say? No, 280. Pine Ridge Road.
Olivia Warburton, 280 Pine Ridge Road, Cheektowaga, New York, the George Urban Mansion.
Derek Warburton, 280 Pine Ridge Road, Georgia, Mansion.
The applicant, Derek Warburton.
Your name?
My name is Sarah Fonzie. I am the potential buyer of 280 Pine Ridge.
Okay.
The applicant, Derek Warburton. Her address? No, we don't need her. The applicant, Derek Warburton of 280 Pine Ridge Road, is seeking a use variance for the property which is zoned R Residence District for uses allowed in a NS Neighborhood Services District, such as a meeting place for private clubs, personal service, and restaurant and event space. You have the floor.
Well, first of all, we, just to be on the short end stick, we already have approval from the Zone of Appeals for the use of variance 2008. And we got the letter right here.
We do have it, copy of it.
Is it on the
Yes.
letter?
He has a copy. of
Oh,
it.
you have the copy?
Yep.
Okay. And yeah, we have a use of variance. As you know, that the George Urban House is a unusual house in the neighborhood. It's the largest house in that area. And almost, you only got 3 churches on the house and 3 churches and a college. So most people think it's a church anyway. When you go through, they don't think it's as a residence. And according to the National Fuel Gas and the National Grid, our house is commercial. Yeah, we have a commercial circuit breaker in the garage, and it's only it's not for residential. But like we had entertained the former. We had what's the name?
We had different political parties, all kind of things happening, but
That-
I would like Sarah to speak and let you know what she would like to do with the home, because that's why we want the use of the home changed. So,
Well,
and she has the
She has information here that she can give to you guys, what she plans to do with the property, and she would like it zoned properly for that. Okay,
Yeah,
so
but-
Sarah, I'm gonna let you speak.
We have a use of a variance already. We just want to add to it.
Thank you. Hello, like I said, my name is Sarah Fonzie. I'm an artist and a community worker here in Buffalo for many years. And me and a group of other women are looking to turn this very large, very unique property into a women's health and social club. It would be primarily used as co-working space where people could work remotely. They could hold office or they could hold meetings there. There would be fitness classes in an exercise space. There's already an indoor pool, which is extremely unique to the property. The house itself is around 7,000 square feet, which is much larger than, most residential homes. It's a very unique property. And it has, these beautiful, incredibly elaborate rooms that would be perfect for hosting a variety of workshops and lectures and social spaces for people to gather and to have membership access to. That's pretty much the gist of what we're looking to do. That it would be membership based. There would people be kind of coming and going, but nothing out of the ordinary as far as mostly typical hours of use, 9 to 7 or so.
What's the residential part of the building that we use for?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What's the residential part gonna be used for? It's a big house, 7,000.
I mean, the residential part has a banquet hall in it. So we could host lectures. We did do a pop-up event there a few months ago. There were around 100 women and they were doing yoga and they were doing pelvic floor therapy and we were doing readings and we were discussing social impact projects and we were dancing and we were sharing meals and we were just communing socially in an environment that there's not a lot of places to get together outside of a cafe or a bar. So we're really just trying to provide a space for women to get together to discuss health concerns, to bring in lecturers and doctors from around the world and to, gather together to try and solve some of the problems of addressing women's health concerns and really just a space to have joy and to get out of our house and our office and to maybe exercise and use the pool and use a sauna. It's really the whole idea is that it would be the infrastructure for many, many things involved in a woman's lives.
Will the property be used as a residence also, or no?
No, it would be purchased through an LLC. It would be operated through a 501c7, which is specifically for private clubs. And we are looking at the potential of having some overnight opportunities. There's 7 bedrooms.
Yeah.
So possibly looking at, streams of revenue where there could be opportunities for women to rent a room for the night, but not permanent residencies.
Are we talking Airbnb?
No, specifically for members.
Okay, have you spoken with Bill and Moran, the college, about parking at all?
We already have.
There is an existing agreement with them that would absolutely be something that we would be looking at. There is an 1.5 acres on the property. So trying to maximize and optimize parking there so that we could provide as much parking as possible for the members, as well as trying to reach out to create relationships with the Villa Maria and possibly the church at the other end of the block.
Okay, I'm familiar with what goes on there. I live down the street. right down the street from there. What about cleanup after your social events? You gonna have someone come around and
I've
pick up?
got a cleaner 2 blocks away. She's a wonderful young woman. She's got a young daughter. She's, she actually helped out hosting some of the events, but, we would have maintenance, probably not on salary to begin with, because things will probably start smaller, but eventually grow into, more salaried employees. So we would probably contractually hire cleaners and groundskeepers. And my 5-year goal is to be the maintenance woman. So that's.
What size groups are you expecting for your lectures? How many in attendance?
That would have to be dependent on the code for that space. I met with some architects recently, and we were talking about doors and capacity as far as, if we cannot add another door to the banquet hall, what would that leave our capacity at? So we will just be open to whatever the is set in the code. We will max it out at whatever code says.
The certificate occupancy said 75 when we had it.
Pardon?
He said 75 for the banquet hall?
Yeah.
Is that with furniture? Okay, so that's all something that we would go through the proper channels for establishing. I had a meeting last week with some architects from Flynn Battaglia, and we were discussing, ADA accessibility, proper fire doors, the right ways to get in and out of the space. So that's all something that we will, have building plans and when not approved through the town. Yes.
This is a historic mansion. It's the urban mansion. It's a big historic of significance in this area.
Yes, ma'am.
Are there any restrictions on changing the facade, changing the outside, changing the turnaround, is there anything like that?
So it is in nature, a historic property, but it's not deemed on the
It's
historic
not on the historic
No.
register?
because of significant changes that have happened to the building in prior. So that's something that we are going to look at, and if that's something feasible to reverse. So if some of the changes, whether it's the paint color or possibly the framing in of the porch, so the architects are willing to kind of go down that road and figure out if that's something that we could reverse so that it could be added to the historic registry. Preservation and art history are absolutely important to me personally, but I
wouldn't want to see a change.
No, there's no change. But the property's been changed over the few years.
Yeah.
With Flint and Sapolos, which really they did a fantastic job keeping the house together with the woodwork and stuff. But we went to the National Register a few times because we were members of the Cheektowaga Historical Society one time, and they said the reason why it's not national because of it's not a wraparound porch.
And she wants to take it back to its historic, or, if she could. So she's not trying to change the building.
No, I just, you don't want to see somebody come in and
Right.
all of a sudden
And I don't want
modern
that either.
looking or,
Yeah, but a lot of changes were made by Earl Flynn, so.
Yeah. Because I've been in there a few times, and one time I was there and we had this like screened in porch.
Mhm.
And then the next time I went in there and it was all enclosed.
Yeah, Frank Lane.
And even when the Junior League was there last year for the home show, we
Yeah.
wouldn't let them do a lot of major changes where it would change the actual
Yeah.
look of the home, so, yeah.
And because the Junior League, because Cheektowaga, that home was the first of Cheektowaga to be awarded the
Mhm.
decorated showcase, and it's
Yeah.
number 30th. So that's a great honor in the community. Thousands of people love going in the house. Buffalo tourists went to the house, and 2015 we even had a reunion for the George Urban family came in and had a reunion at their house.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, moreover, beyond the idea of this club in general, the house is beyond a house. It's beyond residential, and these folks have been trying to sell it for years, but they cannot because it is not a residential home. It's, this enormous property that does not fit in with the rest of the neighborhood. It fits in more so with Villa Maria, a couple doors away, than it does the residential properties that adjoin it. So, changing the property to commercial would really allow them to move on, move out, to get out of the property, and for businesses to be able to make it their home.
How often do you anticipate social events there?
There would be a variety of events, from yoga classes to, support groups to lectures. They would have to be well managed so that there were not more than one event happening at the same time to allow the proper flow in the house. So that would be something that we will, make sure to not overload our schedule, but there wouldn't be, many large events. Those would be pretty seldom, I would expect. So maybe 2 larger events with a capacity of around like 100 people for those. And then generally it's going to be smaller exercise classes, support groups,
So potentially,
happy hours.
potentially it could be 7 days a week.
Potentially, yes, if you're including,
And you,
a yoga class as one of those
and
things.
what are the hours?
The hours would be, I'm not sure yet, but, they would probably be open 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Members would have a key fob. They could come in, use the gym or the sauna, and, use the house as if it's their own. But that would be only for bona fide members.
Well, again, like I said, I live not too far from there, all right, down Pine Ridge, Victoria. When there's large parties, you're taking up spaces there. There's a place on the corner that's I think it's a rehab place for the state-owned building. They,
Dope.
right on the corner of Victoria and Pine Ridge.
Oh,
It's a state-owned property there. They usually park there. So if you're having parties and social events, you're going to take their parking spaces, and they work there. So that wouldn't be fair to them. Is there any way that you could steer your people over to Villa Maria and not on the street?
Yes.
absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean,
Because we already had that with Villa Maria and Mary Robinson and the president over there. They also set up parking when the Junior League took place last year, but
Yep.
that was an overflow.
But-
But also, when you're talking about parking over in that area, whenever there's a graduation party or anything like that, the parking gets a little out of hand. And this is graduation season, so we'll probably see that in the next couple of days if they're still doing a lot of.
Yeah, but that's once a year.
That's once a year, but she's talking about maybe twice a year. She's talking about less than what I did, because the type of events that she's going to be having with yoga classes and things like that. And then people are in and out all day. You've got women coming in probably before they go to work, and then you got some coming in after they go to work. So you're not gonna have large crowds like that, like I had.
yeah, I
Hers
think
is
we
gonna be a
could
lot
manage
less,
our
yeah.
traffic within the property, no problem. And maybe 10% of events we would have to have spillover at Villa.
Villa Maria College.
Yeah.
I'm curious, like how many actual parking spaces are on the property currently? Like if you
35.
maxed out, there's 35?
Yeah,
Now,
tennis court. Yeah,
what,
on the tennis court, yes.
on the tennis court too. So, I mean, of course, lawn and green space is beautiful, but is there an opportunity without degrading the aesthetic, curb appeal and all that, to just add more parking, like to, pave more spaces or does that
There's
space exist?
Possibility for her on the other side, once she gets through that, you know.
Yeah, I
she
think
wants to
a
do that, but,
proper site map and, without the removal of mature trees and that kind of thing, I think there's the
Take away the green
opportunity.
space there. I don't think that's a good idea. I think
But
we need to.
like majority of the time with the things that she's trying to do, she's gonna have plenty enough parking for that.
Okay. As you know, we gave the use variance. It's for the property and not for the owners. So it carries over. So what I have Mr. Young do is read the variance right now and all the conditions that we gave at the time, just so we know where we stand. So just read this part here.
Whereas the applicant desires to use a portion of her dwelling for a banquet facility, assembly space, whereas law does not permit such uses.
These are the conditions that we placed at that time, 2008.
2008, yes.
He's going to read them now, just so we all know.
Okay.
A proposed conditions for use variance application by Olivia and Derek Warburton, 280 Pine Ridge Road, Cheektowaga, New York. Parking. The mansion at 280 Pine Ridge has available parking for 18 spaces directly on the grounds as per the prior variance granted in 1997. 2 of those spaces are handicap spaces located alongside the building. The 16 remaining spaces were plotted out on a tennis court located adjacent to the mansion. As per code, if there are 100 attendees at any function, there must be available 40 parking spaces. In the event that additional parking is required, parking arrangements have been made with the New Apostolic Church as per written agreement. Additional off-location parking is also available at Villa Maria College as per verbal agreement with Sister D'Angelo. For larger events where parking on the grounds is not adequate, the Warburtons will specifically contract with the client for a valet service to provide transportation between the mansion and the off-site parking. Music. Music at events will be atmospheric background music kept at a minimal volume. Any live music will be strictly indoors so as not to disturb the surrounding neighbors, and where appropriate, it may be piped indoors. Any music that is piped outdoors will be strictly atmospheric and kept at a minimum. Event times. All weekend events will end promptly at 11 p.m. All weekday events will end promptly at 9 p.m. Liquor. No liquor is provided by the Warburtons for any function. Any alcohol on the premises is brought by the client, and any caterer must have a pouring license as per the contract. Serving of alcohol will be limited to indoor facilities only. Number of attendants. The maximum number of guests per contract will be limited to 75. Based upon that number, off-street parking will be required and is authorized by New Apostolic Church and Villa Maria. For parties with 50 to 100 guests, security will be provided as per the contract with the client. Security will consist of off-duty or retired police officers or other professional security individuals. For parties under 50 people, the Warburtons will act as security. The Warburtons will also be present during any function. Code compliance. The Warburtons have contacted an architect and drawn up a plan to comply with all building codes should the variance be granted.
There's a conflict here. He said there's 35 parking spaces, and there's 18. So it's only 18. Well, according to that, conditions, there's 18. So anything over 18, you have to contract with the church or Villa Maria.
Mhm.
And since the agreement with Villa Maria and the churches in 2008, I think I'd like that updated.
Okay.
So we can contact Villa Maria,
Yeah.
the new contract updated, and the church.
It's a new owner.
Yeah,
But I think there was also Reverend Paul Walker, he's still there, which is on the other side of Quincy and Avery. So that was where we did Valley Parking. So he's still there.
I think I'd like to have the updated contracts, agreements.
So that was a variance for a primary owner.
Right?
Would that still apply for an LLC?
I would
to
think so,
own and
yeah.
Operate out of that space?
You'd be the owner. I would think so, yeah.
Okay.
So it says Warburton, it would be your organization
Okay.
responsible for security.
But once she purchased it, that's what she's trying to get to. Once she purchased the home, that will still apply to her.
Stays with the property.
Stays with the property. Okay, great. That's all we needed to know.
Updated with her business name, then would a new one be drawn up?
Right. She'd have to come in.
Okay, so you would come in with, and a new one would be drawn up, I guess,
Okay.
with your name.
Okay.
And that's when she,
When I contact Mr. Fowler and our attorney for some of these legal details that we're not familiar with, just to make sure that, we're on the right page.
Yeah, I have an attorney and I am very interested in having the site revisited to make sure that the parking numbers and the code and everything is correct and see how we can maximize those if possible. So next steps, I guess, but the variance is the main one and we can move forward with the purchase of the building.
Right, so as long as you comply with the conditions and the variance, you can do it.
Great.
You may want to get a copy of these conditions.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't have a copy. How can you get a copy? Just come to your office. See, Eric.
Okay.
And he'll make a copy of these conditions for you, just so that you have it.
Great.
So it's nothing to vote on. So we're just affirming that the use variance of 2008 is still in force, and the conditions are still in force, even though there's a new owner. Okay. So
Thank you.
I guess we're all set. Okay. So I guess the variance is withdrawn. Okay, new items. Frank Cicchini. Yeah, hold on a second. Mr.
Chinisi.
Mr. Miranda's trying to get on Zoom call.
Okay.
Let's continue. This is for 0 and 100 McKesson Parkway.
Thank you. Yes,
Okay, what's your name?
Frank Chinisi. I'm with Legacy Development. I'm also the general partner of the applicant in this matter, Maine McKesson LP.
Okay, but read your. You don't have.
Whereas Frank A. Stanichi, on behalf of owner Maine Kesson LP of 100 McKesson Parkway, Cheektowaga, and 0 McKesson Parkway, Cheektowaga, under project 2026-1311, the applicant proposes the merging of these two parcels for the development of a multi-unit residential complex at a unit count of 160, equating to 27 units per acre. Whereas the local law allows for only 12 units per acre for a site equivalent of 73 units total allowed per the 6.1 acres available. Under the project 2026-1311, the applicant proposes the merging of these two parcels for the development of a multi-unit residential complex on 6.1 acres, equivalent to 265,716 square feet. Whereas the local law requires 12.89 acres, equivalent to 561,500 square feet at a unit count of 160. The applicant proposes the third article. The applicant proposes the merging of these two parcels for development of a multi-unit residential complex for a principal building height of 50 feet for all four principal buildings, whereas the local law requires a maximum principal building height of 35 feet. The applicant, number four, this is number four. The applicant proposes the merging of these two parcels for the development of a multi-unit residential complex for an accessory building height of 15 feet for the clubhouse, whereas the local law requires a maximum accessory height of 12 feet.
Excuse me, it's the 15 feet is for the garage buildings, not the clubhouse.
Clubhouse here.
But that the clubhouse is 2 stories.
Clubhouse is 2 stories.
Mhm.
Somebody got it wrong.
And ditch. Make it, and then, yeah. 15.
15 is 15 feet now. It's a garage and not a clubhouse. It's a
No,
garage.
there's a separate building that's the clubhouse.
One more.
Number 5, the applicant proposes the merging of these two parcels for the development of a multi-unit residential complex with a total of 212 parking stalls, whereas the local law requires 328 parking stalls. You have the floor, sir.
Okay, so a little bit of background. Property was rezoned in February of this year with this project, with this essentially a set of circumstances in place. We, at the time that we made that rezone application, there were 4 identified zone variances that would be required, and those are the 4 that you just read. Once we got past the rezone, we filed our application for the variances that were known at that time, along concurrently filed for the site plan approval. After we submitted those 2 applications, the planning staff identified 4 additional variances, which precipitated a second application. And because there are 2 applications pending on the same project, I asked the board to allow us to present them at the same time. So because we're talking about the same project and it's going to lay out the same way. So I think the motivation and the justifications are all pretty well together. So I think we're the first and the last agenda item. So, okay. So do we need to read those? Do we need to read, or you want to deal with these first? Okay. So I would say that, when we the first question before us is essentially, are these variances detrimental to the neighborhood? And our answer is no. We feel like this, first of all, the site was rezoned specifically with this project in mind. And so I think that that's, fairly self-evident. It's certainly compatible with the land uses that are adjacent. the project's going to support the nearby commercial retail establishments, and it's also going to benefit from those services. So it's really kind of, in our view, it's the ideal location for an apartment development. It is also, it's really got to be thought of as a kind of an urban infill location, as opposed to something that you would think of in a field out and, out, I don't know, out whatever, Lawson Road or something. It's surrounded by commercial uses. The mall towers over the site. So it's, we feel like this is, the natural fit for what's going on in the neighborhood. And I think that we bought this property from Pyramid, who owns the mall, obviously. And so this is what they want. They want to see built, and they're doing this across their portfolio. They have available lands adjacent to their malls, and they're soliciting apartment projects because anything that can help support the retail function there is, first and foremost in their mind. So, again, they're our immediate neighbor, and they want this. They, in fact, our purchase was subject to a rezone. So, and so in that context, let's talk about the variances themselves. The first two variances are really kind of two sides of the same coin. We need X amount of land for Y amount number of units. You have a variance on the unit count and the size of the land, the size of the parcel. Those are really the same thing, and if you think about it in those terms. But again, as an urban infill site, I think it behooves us to maximize the units within a certain context. And so, that's the motivation there. In terms of the building height, the mall itself is going to be approximately 20 feet higher than the highest point on our building. So we're going to fit in the context of that site. So we're really not out of whack with what's going on in the neighborhood. And the 3 foot difference in the accessory structures on the garage is just because of the peaks of the roofs. It's really tough to build a garage building, especially a larger one of this nature. We've got 4 of them. With a 12-foot pitch, you just get no pitch on the roof. So it's really kind of necessary. And lastly, it's the parking. And again, this reverts back to the notion that it's an urban infill location. We expect less vehicles than you might ordinarily deal with, because people are going to be working in the neighborhood. They're going to be utilizing public transportation. And we feel like that the parking, it's typically oversubscribed in these deals. We've built apartment projects in a number of municipalities, and we're always overparked. I mean, we always end up with more paving, and so all that does is create additional runoff and so forth. So to us, the parking is going to be more than adequate. So that's our theory for the first set of variances.
And we're gonna
Gonna put all that concrete in parking area there. What does it do? What does it do for the watershed for Skajackwita Creek there?
So the way the stormwater runoff is going to be, gets directed first to a bioretention area where it gets treated with a set of filters, and then it's then released into Skajackwita Creek.
Going to have a detrimental effect to the creek at all?
No, and these are all the project like this is subject to New York State DEC and Erie County Health Department approval, and they're going to make sure that it's designed to a standard that will not be detrimental to the watershed.
So where's the main entryway and exit for the project, for the property? Where would the exits and entranceway be?
So McKesson Parkway terminates at our parcel. It used to come across 100 McKesson. The right of way went all the way to the ring road at the mall. I think it was, 10 plus years ago, Pyramid approached the town and asked them to abandon that portion of the right of way, and then actually that's what's creating this next set of variances. Once that right of way was abandoned, now McKesson terminates at 100 McKesson Parkway, and so that's our access point. There will also be a breakaway gate leading to the Pyramid Rig Road because that for fire purposes, if you're adjacent to a separately owned private property, they can't force an open connection, but they do require what's known as a breakaway gate. And it's common practice across all municipalities.
So you're not gonna have an entranceway to Union Road,
Yeah, so we go McKesson to Union.
McKesson to Union. So how you gonna make that left with all that traffic out there?
People either figure it out or they're going to turn right and find a new way. People find a way.
In terms of parking, this bio retention area, can that be covered and made parking area?
It's below grade. Most of it's below grade. We do, yeah.
But there's still no way of covering it. And make it
Except below grade, it's covered. It's below the grade.
What is it? But you can't park on it. You can't make a parking lot out of it
Yeah, you can.
because they'll give you additional parking.
No, it's just, it would be underneath a portion of the parking lot. So there are big wide tubes underneath the parking lot that store the water. So it runs off into the catch basins and then goes into these big 18-foot pipes that are underground. It's stored there and then a control roll runoff into the creek.
The apartment count that you want to put in there's 160.
Mhm.
Code or local law basically says 73 units
Yes,
is all you should be able to put on that property.
yes,
So I mean, you're more than double.
yes.
And I mean, you're really just cramming this in there.
I don't see it that way at all. As a matter of fact, I mean, if this were in a suburban location with lots of housing around it, and you want to build more intensive units, then that's maybe appropriate criticism. But in this case, we're basically a commercial site surrounded by commercial properties. And it makes more sense. Like this is part of, in my opinion, this is part of the problem of the way zoning works around all of Western New York is because we want to spread everything out so far and we cover up all the green space instead of going vertical. And in a spot where vertical makes the most sense. I mean, this is the spot you go vertical, maybe not out in, I don't know, out in Transit in Lawson or whatever, but in this location next to a 70-foot mall. Yeah.
You're still going to be 3 stories taller than the post office and what is it, Granger? Granger.
Yeah, but we're 20 feet lower than the mall.
The wall's up on a hill. You're down the hill. So I mean, that's
but it's it's everything in context. Nobody, I know the post office doesn't mind the 70-foot mall,
They don't have a choice.
Well,
it was already there. This is a new project. I mean, and I don't care if the post office is going to look at it and say, but I'm just saying they're going to stand out.
I mean, if there was anybody in the post office or anybody around that was objecting to this project, you'd be hearing from them.
Well, the post office isn't going to object.
Well, that's right. And that's the point. I mean, you've got a warehouse operation to the one side. You've got a mall that wants as many apartments as we can get on there next to us. So, I mean, there's a creek on the other side. So we're really, I mean, again, it kind of doesn't get better than this because this is the kind of spot where nobody objects to it. It fits perfectly within the context of its surrounding neighborhood. And we wouldn't have gotten rezoned if this wasn't something the town wanted.
What is the parking? That's another problem, the parking. You don't have enough parking for the apartments. And you're going to tell me, I know they're going to take public transport or they're going to work in the area, but you don't know that for sure.
Well, people will move to this property fully aware of what the parking situation is. They're not going to come here. They're not hostages. Nobody's got a gun to their head. They come in and move there because they want to be there. They understand the context of the site. And as much as I didn't want to bring this up, if you look at that aerial, there are about 5,000 empty parking spaces immediately adjacent to us. And so now we're going to want to put another 5 acres of parking in. It just doesn't make any sense.
No, we're not asking.
But I'm saying it.
You have enough for your tenants.
You don't own that property.
I understand that, but push comes to shove, people are going to park where if they had to, they would park there. And the mall's not going to object. They would have granted us the parking rights there, but their anchor tenant leases in malls have parking ratio requirements. That they cannot be violated. So
have you approached the mall and asked them?
yeah, we remember we bought the property from the mall. We talked about this. This is before we ever even went to contract. We asked them about this, and they said as much as they would like to be able to grant us the parking, because again, you got this giant parking field immediately adjacent to the property it's not being used at all.
But we're building this project for Cheektowaga, in Cheektowaga. We're not
Correct.
doing it for the mall. And that's,
Well, the Cheektowaga is part or the mall is part.
there's a lot more to Cheektowaga than the mall.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying the mall is part of Cheektowaga.
I get it. But there's a lot more parts of Cheektowaga
Well,
that aren't the mall.
as I said, the property was rezoned
I get it.
with this proper with these circumstances in mind. And I think that there was never an objection anywhere along the line.
Yes, there was. The first time that you came here with you wanted to put a big, huge, tall building in. I don't know if it was you. Who were the other buyers?
Wasn't
then?
me. I mean,
But
the Pyramid's owned the property since. Pardon me?
Granger did come and complain
About what?
about their warehousing and how they have trucks coming in at night and this and that. And they don't want to be, told that they can't run their business because they're interfering with your tenants. And, okay. I mean, maybe they're not here today. Maybe they were notified. Maybe they weren't. I don't know.
They have to be notified by law. They get a notice of the pending the rezone, the variances, the site plan approval.
No, I get it. But
So I mean, again,
sometimes it doesn't happen.
there has been the town planning board recommends rezone, town board approved rezone with these exact circumstances in mind.
Did the planning board pass say this project should go?
Planning board is the one recommended rezone, and when we went for the site plan approval, they didn't get the votes to recommend approval, but they didn't vote to recommend denial. And those are not recommending approval is not the same thing as recommending a denial. You have to specifically and affirmatively vote to recommend the denial, and they did not do that.
I want to ask a question about parking again. If you're going to overlap into the mall parking, right? That's what you're saying?
I'm saying that in the worst case scenario, if somebody's circling the parking lot and can't find a parking space anywhere, and they need to park, well, guess what? They're going to go across the street about 5-10 feet away and park there and walk across.
Okay, so if someone parks over there in the wintertime, gets out of their car and break their leg, who's responsible? You or the mall?
Everybody's going to get sued. I can tell you, as a guy who gets sued, but more than I'd like to admit to.
So the mall is okay with you having people park?
Again, they're not going to specifically grant it, but every single day, that's their business. People they don't know come and park on their spot when it's raining and snowing and everything else, and they take that risk because they want people to be there to go to the mall. Again,
there's no apartment complex right there.
I understand it, but it is the mall is a people generator. Its whole function is life is to attract people, as many people as possible. That's their whole mission in life. So I mean, again, this is completely supportive of what they want to do, what they want adjacent to them. I mean, when we first, to go into put a little more context to this, we originally rezoned this property back in 2022. And we rezoned it with a project that was 340 units. And that rezone got approved. But, circumstances changed. And we felt that was just going to be too many units. So we've more than halved the unit count here. So we've gone from 340 to 160. And anything below 160, there's no project.
So how many?
That's as low as we can go.
The apartments that you are putting up, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, what are they?
The building hasn't been designed yet, although it is based on a building that we have built in Amherst, adjacent to the UB North campus. And it's a mix of threes, twos, and ones. It's typically the ratio is about 10% threes, 60% twos, 30% ones. And that's the ratio that's the target ratio in every scenario. Will we get to that? Would it be 9% and 61 or 11 and 59? I don't know, but that'd be part of the design process. But the footprint is based on a building that we have already built.
But-
Who's your target tenant? Are you gonna have market rate tenants or
It's market rate.
low income, high income,
It's a market rate.
just market rate?
Yeah. And I think that if you investigate, affordable housing, you'll see that the rents that they charge in affordable aren't that much different than market. But in that, be that as it may, we're not an affordable developer. We don't pursue low income tax credits. So that's not our thing. So we
Pilots?
no pilot.
Say we got a similar project in Amherst.
So it's called Strathmore.
Strathmore.
Yeah. So in fact, because we had submitted, I believe at some point, I'm sure Dan Young's got it somewhere. An elevation of the building. So it's in the file somewhere.
And how many units are there?
So that building is 32 units. But on the sides of the buildings, those buildings have garage spaces. So they were so there's like indoor parking, like you can drive in and walk right into your unit. But we're going to eliminate those garage spaces and add the units to that space. So we're going to remove the 10 garage spaces that are within the building and add 8 units. That gets us from 32 to 40 in each of the buildings.
Are those garage spaces on the outside of the parking lot? The dark ones, why are they highlighted?
Well, those are the garage buildings.
They are garage.
Yeah, so the garage buildings that we're going to building those are the accessory structures that we're asking for the 15-foot height on.
So what are the accessory structures for?
It's part of their garages.
Oh, they're garages.
Yeah, and also although we don't do dumpsters. So we always do totes, and we set aside some, 1 or 2 of the garage bays to house the totes so that we don't have messy dumpsters all over.
Gonna have private pickup?
Yeah.
Not town.
How many coats do you-
Well, I'm going to back off of that. I don't know. Typically, it's private in a private development, but sometimes, I don't know what the code around here calls for or allows for. Either way, we have to pay for it.
I don't know either, but how many totes would you need to store for 160 apartments?
Oh, I don't know off the top of my head, honestly. No.
One for each apartment?
No, never. No, because we have we do, we have apartments downtown and we give them the little totes and they don't fill them up.
What about recycling?
Same thing. We do, there will be recycling.
And who gets the garages? How do you,
So they're rented separately.
they rent?
Yes, they're rented. So they would be, so typically they're about they're $100 a month.
What would the average rent be? Average.
The average rent's going to be somewhere in the $1,900. Again, you've got across ones, twos, and threes. So obviously threes are more than twos, and which are more than ones.
So these won't be subsidized or Section 8?
No,
Nobody?
Nope.
I thought you had to take them.
You have to take them, don't you?
No.
You
you do not have to accept Section 8.
I don't know about that.
But I do. I'm in the apartment business. I don't. That's what I do.
So if a tenant comes to you and said, I want to rent here, I got security deposit, but I'm on Section 8. You're not
Sorry, we don't accept it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
There would be a revolt in the world if everybody had to accept Section 8. Trust me on that. That's, the minute you say, I want to do affordable housing, that's the first words out of their mouths. Is it Section 8? People, despise it. I'm not here to say one way or the other whether they're justified, but I mean, in the world, if you told somebody in this room that a Section 8 is moving into their house next door, watch the reaction.
Can't discriminate.
I don't discriminate, but Section 8 is a rental subsidy program that is voluntary.
Okay.
I just looked up the Strathmore
Yeah.
Apartments in Amherst, and is the exterior design going to be similar to that?
It would
or
be-
just the layout.
So the only difference will be because of this height issue that we were going to do flat roof. So because that one's got a peaked roof on it, and that would add to this variance problem. So we would decided to go flat, and that would eliminate that, any additional height that would come out of the peak roof.
So that one's 3 stories?
Yeah.
The Strathmore.
Yeah, the Strathmore.
How many units?
It's ours is
No, that's Strathmore.
32 as I recall. Yeah, because we had 70. No, it was a total of 73 units. So whatever that math is, I don't remember. It's
73.
been a while. We sold it like 8 years ago.
How many parking spaces do they have there? You aware?
I'd have to look it up. I don't remember.
I'd like to know that just to get because it's it's an urban area, but it's really not on a bus route. It's on a bus route.
Yeah, but
That's not reliable.
I can tell you that they get they get mostly foreign students attending UB, like way high end, like the guys who are like driving Bentleys and stuff.
But they still have cars.
Well, a lot of them are just walking to UB. I mean, because it was
They still have cars.
they do have cars, but that site, just like every other site, is overparked. I built that one. I built Autumn Creek Apartments out on East Amherst. That that's how they deal with snow, because you got a bunch of empty parking spaces. They'll push the snow into those parking spaces.
Dealt with a apartment complex on Transit Road, Midtown Apartments.
Yeah.
And they wanted more parking because there wasn't enough parking for guests and stuff when they came over, because they originally, I believe they were doing 2 spaces per apartment, and they don't have enough
Yeah.
space. They asked for more.
I just want to, again, there isn't an alternative for me to do. We are completely constrained on this site. There's all private property around me and a creek to the south. We can't buy anything more. And the only way to add more parking is to subtract units. And if I subtract units, I have no project. And then it's just sit there empty.
Well, that's what it is. It's a shame that developers, want to stuff as much into a piece of property. And there really isn't the room for that much. I mean, 160 apartments in an area that's like, code allows 73. I mean.
Have you ever been to a large city?
Yeah,
Have you ever seen the
large
big,
cities.
how tall do the buildings get full of a,
City,
we aren't?
no.
We're somehow, I'm not here to be argumentative, but our position is that 212 spaces will be sufficient to park this project. We cannot build it with less than 160 units. It just doesn't work. That was the bare minimum. And so I am adjacent to 1,000 parking spaces that are empty 99.9% of the time. And to go and pay over a spot for additional parking and under those circumstances just seems to me not well thought out.
You don't have anywhere to even put additional.
Sure, I could eliminate a building. And now I'm at 120 units, and what have I got? And in fees.
What did you say?
I said the only way to do that is that we could, if we eliminated that retention area up at the top, we could add parking. But it's a physical requirement of the civil design to have that. Believe-
You can't park on top of that?
No.
You can't cover it?
No, it's a bioretention area.
That would give you a lot of extra parking if we could just cover that and put parking space on
No.
that.
It just,
Why
it's not,
can't you have underground water storage like you were talking?
we do. That's one of the only reasons why we're able to do what we're doing here is because
Talking about you're saying you have that and it's gonna be a filter before it goes into
Yeah.
the creek, but behind there where you have that retention basin, why can't you have tanks underneath there to collect water and also?
so it's going to
filter it?
go into that area and then it goes through pipes down into the other collector pipes that slowly release it into the creek. So that's how the filtering process works.
I understand, but I'm saying, why can't you do that in the back where the retention basin is? Why can't you do the same thing? Then you can park more on top of that.
Because it has to be an open area. The civil engineer designed this. I'm not going to claim to be a civil engineer. Okay. I understand the basic premise of what's being done here. And the civil also knows that he wants to give me as much parking as he possibly physically can. And this is what they came up with. I mean, CNS engineers are experts at what they do. They design all of our projects. We have complete faith in them. And they knew we asked for as much parking as we could possibly get.
I have a question about your partnership with Pyramid. And if they're, from the get-go, they want this is something, that you've built a relationship around with their parking contracts, with their tenants. Can you throw the ball back in their court and do anything? Because again, those spaces are empty. It's, it just makes sense in a way that if with all the properties they have, all the malls they run, I'm sure this is not the only situation where they're looking at a whole bunch of empty parking spaces in an apartment building that wants right next door, adjacent, that wants to utilize more parking because, like Ms. Hammer brought up, like if you can't to add parking later creates a lot of problems. And, we've seen that on this board, but
We went to
what is their role in this if they're, I don't know.
Well, again, if they could, they would. They can't. They're legally prevented from doing it because they have lease obligations to major corporations like Macy's, not Macy's, Macy's and whoever else.
IKEA.
IKEA is going to be in there, like whatever the Primark, I believe, is another tenant in there.
But the amount of empty parking spaces like parking isn't a reason why people aren't coming to the mall. And if they, create a residential zone and there's like visitors and, family, friends, plus residents who are, living in this community, it's going to be a benefit to them. And maybe there's, I don't know, if perhaps the ball needs to go back into their court.
There's nothing they can do. I mean, we asked multiple times and if you keep asking the same question and keep getting the same answer, I'm not sure, like at some point, you feel foolish, I mean, I'm going to beg them, I can't make them do something that they're legally prevented from doing.
No, parking is going to be tight for the residents. Now, what about guests, people coming in, visitors? Where are they going to go?
Well, it's the same issue. I mean, the parking will be the parking and they're going to have to decide how to deal with it. Okay. I mean, again, like if you think about it, at the end of the day, who's going to really suffer? If I have tenants that have just hate the parking situation, well, then they're just not going to rent there. Right. I mean, it's not like nobody's got a gun to their head to say you must live here. Right. So if we gain this reputation of, hey, you just can't park there, like don't bother going there. Well, then we'll have to live with those consequences. But I mean, where does the harm flow on this issue? It's not like we're gonna be parking in like some residential area and then all these people are gonna flood somebody's residential street and make a mess out of their street and blah blah blah. None of that. I mean, we're the only party that would experience any negativity to come out of this issue.
Well, the residents might not have the experience of a parking shortage until they're moved in, and then,
but
and then they would be experiencing the, like the difficulty of then not having enough parking for themselves or, other
understand.
guests who are
I
coming.
understand.
So, I mean, it kind of puts the burden, it like kicks the can down the road a little bit to the residents perhaps, because again, you don't realize until you move in somewhere, oh, okay, this is.
Well, I don't think so. I mean, but all due respect, I think that's not entirely the case because the way these things typically work is that, people come in, they come to the leasing office and then they take a tour and they go around the site. We show them around the site. We take them into various sets of units. They look around. They're going to see like, wow, there's not a parking space to be seen. They're like, maybe I got to think about that.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's not like they just walk in blindly without ever understanding the site,
Mhm.
How much green space do you
I don't have that off the top of my head, but
You have
we
enough.
we have enough.
You have
It's not a variance.
Now the consequence of not having enough parking, you say, oh, people won't go there then. Could it get to the point where you're not gonna be able to rent them because there's not enough parking?
Well, that was kind of the point I was making before. If this became truly a monumental problem, then nobody could ever park there, or the last 10% of the units couldn't park there, well, then those 10% are going to sit empty, right?
Yeah, but then there goes your financial plan.
But again, the risk flows to me, not to anybody else.
It also harms the town too.
How?
Could harm the town.
How?
Because you'll have people calling the
Vacancies.
police that somebody's in my parking place and blah, 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 blah.
It's a private property.
Yeah.
The police would still.
Okay, I think we're.
Well,
Does anybody in the audience wish to comment? Line up. Name and address, please.
James Kursman, 16 Old Farm Court. The only thing I want to say is I recently looked for apartments for my daughter, who is 24. And the problem we had is we looked during the day because that's when the offices are open. And that's when most people with cars are at work. So the parking lots are actually empty, so they don't see the massive amount of cars in the lot during the day. I just want to say that.
I get it. You're taking the risk.
we're prepared. Believe me, we're prepared to take the risk.
I don't know where it's gonna go, but I'll make a motion to grant all the variances as requested. Do I have a second? Do I have a second? Do I have another motion?
I'll make a motion to deny
I what?
all the requests,
All variances?
all the variances.
Second?
A second.
Motion by Mr. Young, second by Mrs. Hammer to deny all the variances as requested. On the motion, Mrs. Hammer, Mr. Young, Mrs. Alvin Salt.
Aye.
Well, no. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, then we're going to withdraw the other.
James Marcy, 110 South Foxley.
Good evening, folks. I'm James Mackley of the 110 South Huxley. I'm applying for a variance to rebuild my garage. My garage is old.
The applicant, Dave Macri of 110 South Huxley Drive, proposed new garage will be 5 feet from the principal dwelling, where zoning law requires a minimum of 10 feet. You have the floor, sir.
Yes, the garage, the way the house was built, they built the garage and they put in between the house and the garage sometime around 79, I think. And, back then, I guess it was only 5 feet between the house and the garage. Now it's 10. And I don't have any other room on the side of my garage to move the garage over.
You do have a lot of room. You got a backyard.
And I have a corner lot, sir. The way my house kind of sits on the property, it kind of sits in the middle of the property.
It's your property, and
Right.
unless I got the wrong one, you've got property in your backyard,
More of a side yard than a
side yard.
side yard, yes. And I really don't have much room to move the garage anymore. I just want to keep it like that.
Attached right now?
No, I don't want to attach garage.
Okay.
Just the attached garage would be too much money and I don't want to spend that much more money.
Okay. How about your neighbors? How do they feel? You don't have anybody on
Hey,
that.
I only have the one neighbor on my left side.
Yeah, there's
I don't,
nobody.
I don't see her here, so.
Okay, so there's nobody on the side that you want to.
No, there's no shed in the yard or nothing.
Okay.
Me?
Yeah, there is.
Want to place that? Where? Where do you want? Yeah. Just right there. Okay. So it's going to look like that? Okay, all right.
So you say the garage is gonna be the same size? Same size, okay. Anybody in the audience wishes to comment? I have a motion.
Make a motion to grant the variance as presented.
Sweet, thank you.
I'll second it.
A motion by Mrs. Hammer, second by Mr. Young, to grant the variance as requested. On the motion, Mrs. Hammer,
Aye.
Mr. Young,
Aye.
Salt,
Aye.
I'll vote aye. You're all set.
Thank you much. Have a nice night. Thank you.
Paul Kwiatkowski, 4832 Transit.
Yes, sir. I'm Paul Kwiatkowski. I'll let you read.
The applicant, Paul Nowakowski
Okay, that's good enough.
of 4832 Transit Road proposes the construction of 1,750 square foot accessory structure where zoning law states that no accessory structures shall exceed a total of 750 square feet. You have the floor, sir.
Pardon me?
You have the floor.
Oh, what I have, well, in fact, if I'm gonna give you these. Okay, what I'm planning to do, if I can get approval, what you're looking at on the first page, that's actually a picture taken by the priority abatement when they checked to make sure that there was no asbestos to tear it down. That is the existing garage. It's actually 15 feet by 60 feet deep. This house was my parents' house. My sister inherited it after my parents died, and my sister died about a year and a half ago. So now it's to me and my brother. What it was is the new garage, if you flip the paper over, is going to be a standard two-door. When you look at it from the street, it'll be a two-car garage, but it's not really. It's a six-car garage. Because when you go to the next page, you'll see it goes back. It's going to be 25 feet by 70 feet deep. You're not going to notice that actually from the street. It'll look like a two-car garage. The reason I'm putting in 6 bays, there's going to be a driveway to the left side of it, is I have classic cars that I also store. Mine, not for rent for anybody. So the back 2 bays are going to be for my Corvette and my Thunderbird. The middle double bay is going to be for all the equipment and everything to take care of the house. The front double bay is going to be for whoever rents the house. So they have, you know, a garage when they rent it. Basically, it's going to be totally empty. There'll only be one wall that's going to separate the front 2-car garage from the back 50 feet. I'm going to have the whole back 50 feet for.
So this is rental property.
It will be rental property. My brother's staying there right now because he accidentally burned down his house a year ago. So he's living there.
You're not afraid you'll burn yours down?
He better not. Well, he's part owner too, so he'll take the loss too.
New garage that you're presenting, it's how long? 70?
It's 70 feet deep. The
70
existing is 60 by 15. The new one will be 25 by 70. So it'll go back 10 feet further. It will match the house. It's going to be white vinyl sided and black metal roof. The existing house, no picture, but has a red roof. But that was my father's big thing. And that red roof is going to be going and it's going to have a black roof. So they'll match.
Property's very big.
It's like almost across from Cole.
Exactly across
Okay,
the house.
There's looking at the.
Yeah. In fact, their driveway and the driveway for 4832 are exactly across from each other. It was going to be a signal there. And then Delta Sonic signal went there.
Anybody in the audience wishes to comment? Do I have a motion?
Oh, I
Hold
have
on.
a question.
Come on up. Here. Here.
I own a property owner at 4836 Transfer Road right next to his property. I have pictures on my phone. My property is about 4 foot away from his driveway, where his existing garage is. His garage, he mentioned the size of his garage. Now, with the size of the garage he's putting up, which is bigger than my house, that is 2 doors away because I own both properties at 4840 and 4836 Transfer Road. He's putting up a garage bigger than my house. Now, with the water drainage off that roof, it's gonna impact my property. The garage he has already on his property is 3 foot away from my property. I have pictures on my phone. He only has a 10-foot gutter, and the gutter comes down into the back of his garage and runs onto my property, which I have kind of a flood back there all the time. He has pine trees there that are probably about 20 foot tall. It gets saturated back there. I have pictures of already 2 pine trees already on my property. The other pine trees are already leaning towards my property. Now, anybody knows, act of God, when these trees fall on my property, they're my responsibility. They also years ago put a fence on my property. He has surveying stakes out there, which there is fence on my property, which nobody ever said nothing about. Now, with this runoff of a roof of 70 foot long, I want to know, I don't have anything against the building, but the thing is, where is this runoff going to go? When I built my house, it had to be diverted towards storm sewers, towards Transit Road. Where is this runoff going to go? Into the fields, which is already wetlands over there? That's my question of this building.
Because that is, I know that is wetlands behind.
Yes, and when now a big roof like that with the snow melting off, I'm gonna have more water on my property. The drainage back there already is kind of not really good. I don't have a problem with the building. It's just where is this drainage gonna go? Is it going out to the storm sewer or is it gonna be downspouts running onto the ground?
It should go out to the storm.
Any answer that, please?
It's a good point. I did think about all that. I already talked with.
Talk the microphone, please.
I get the mic. All right. Yes, I talked with the guy who's gonna be tearing down the garage. It's gonna have the pad, it's gonna be a concrete haunch pad, 75 by, or 70 by 25. And I had actually talked to him about that specific problem. And he says what he was talking about was when we're gonna put in the pad, or when the building's gonna go in, they're gonna trench from the back, because everything is gonna flow towards the back. Trench in a line and bring it into the water, to the piping that we have around the house to take out to the sewer. Yes, well, for the house. Yeah, so we would tie into the drain and run it out towards the front. Because that, I'll tell you the truth, that property is wet all the time. It's still wet, even though it's been dry. It's just the way the land is. Actually, the water comes from his side into my side, and then it gets stopped because of the trees. And yeah, the trees.
All of it's pretty level. I even leveled it off years ago. And you can actually see, I even have a picture where the water congregates on my property, not his property, right by his back of his garage. So the water actually comes like this way. So I actually have the water where it is on my, ponded on my property. So that's all like I said, that's all my concern is, where is this water gonna go? It is a big, pretty big building. You know, so it's like, it's almost twice the size of his house. You can see my property right next door to his driveway. I have like, from my house, 4 foot even just to his driveway. And even that little bit of water on my basement wall, you know, is a problem. You know, it's the drainage. That's the problem.
Well,
And I don't know how far where he's gonna put the garage. I know he's ripping the white garage down, if it's gonna be
It's gonna,
behind his house, away from my property.
yes, yes,
So-
because I have to do that. When I talked to the people at the zoning board, they had said I gotta have at least 5 feet. It's sitting in the front at 3.5.
I think
The
the
back
property
at
line now
4.
is, because when I built my house in '98, it was 8 foot. I think it's 10 foot away from the property line now.
It's 5.
10 foot from the property line
I know.
for the garage?
No, I think it's 5 right there.
I thought it was 5.
It's 5. It's 5.
5 foot, yeah.
So that even puts me even in the more, it's even gonna be closer to my property.
No,
line.
no, I'm closer to your property now. I'm moving it more. I'm gonna move it. No, it's gone.
Oh.
It's gonna go from your property more to behind. I'm actually gonna kick it over about 2.5 feet from your property.
Well, it's still pretty close for a building 70 foot long.
Well,
But it's legal. But it's legal. Yeah.
Yeah. And
It's
if
kind of-
everybody have trees falling on my property from his property, who's gotta take care of them? Me.
no, I'm gonna take care of them.
Well, that's what he says. And the fence on my property, I just don't want no problems.
No, no,
on
no.
the road.
I understand that.
Really, what do I do with a lot of fences on my property? Been there for years, you know, now we got a problem there, so
Well, I mean, you can have them remove that.
that's on him, yeah.
You could probably remove that fence.
Surveying states right now that the property's on my fence.
Yeah, that fence. should
Oh,
be
yeah.
removed.
After I had to have it resurveyed because when I took it down, the survey I had was from 1942. And all it showed was a whole bunch of squares off a transit road. So I had to have it resurveyed. And I've got the survey here now. In fact, when I submitted it, and in fact, you'll see.
And then we've got it here.
There's the line of the fence just over to about 7 inches over, I think it's probably, which I can rip out the fence if you want.
I think if he wants to, you should. He's got that right. It should be removed if he wants it. Yeah.
I can figure it.
So I'm curious, what is the construction of the building going to be? Is it a pole barn? Or
To the mic, please.
Take a phone, please.
Okay. Just trying to show you how, you want to see how much the fence is on the property. Said you're gonna rip it out, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll take out the fence.
And if you say you're gonna take the trees off my property, I'm fine.
I just talked to my.
It's just the wetlands and the runoff from the roof. As long as it's piped in someplace, or it goes into a leach field in the way in the fields, but that's gonna add more wetlands. You know, I just don't know about the drainage. That's all I want to
Yeah.
bring up. I just don't want my property wetter when I cut my grass and stick in the grass. It takes forever to dry up, you know, it's like, And then if I go to sell my property, somebody comes over and says, hey, swap here.
Would it be, more of a cost to you, overly to put in drain tile?
I don't really know. I would
think
go
you
that
should.
route.
I think you should.
I could go that route.
Drain tiles to the sewer in front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're saying drain tile instead of hooking into the sewer to go into the storms and
Yeah.
storm sewer? With almost like a leach field type of thing, or?
No, take it out to the front, to the road.
Take it completely away.
Instead of tying into the house?
Yeah. Which I could do because I could run that right along the property line.
Or you could do it next to the driveway.
Tiles.
Yeah.
So we're-
Just gotta be careful, 'cause I got pipes there that are already tied into there. I'll have to
From
know
what?
where-
From your house?
From the house, yeah.
Oh, I don't know that.
And then
Okay,
whether
you're
or
gonna-
not the DOT allows them to connect.
Before it starts
What,
taking a-
which actually, as far as I'm concerned, would
There
be
you go.
better
So,
because then I
yeah,
can
but
run a
you
gutter
don't even-
that way.
If they lived on
Drop
just
it
a side
and
street,
Piping.
you could connect it directly to the storm sewer. But he's gonna need, at the very least, DOT
Yeah.
approval to be able to do that.
Heavy PVC or whatever.
Hey, we're just talking there now. We'd like you to have drain tiles going to the storm sewer. The problem is, transit roads is a state road, so you need state approval to connect your tiles to the storm sewer.
No, okay, no, okay.
Wait a minute, you said you already have existing tiles that are from the house drainage, from the gutters.
Well, when I talked to the guy that's gonna tear it down, he says we could run drain tiles to the piping that goes around the house that takes it out to the drain.
So you already have a connection that goes out to Transit Road?
Oh, yeah, but that's from the house.
Does it go out to Transit Road or does it go to, is it basically like a French drain? Does it just drain into a stone pit?
It goes to the drain tiles go to a tank, which then takes it over to the piping by Transit Road. From what I remember.
So it's enough capacity now with the new building for the water.
We dig a trench and then we could run it right to and tie into that, into the
Instead of a
pipe.
trench, can you have just a pipe?
Yeah.
Direct pipe instead of a trench.
I gotta put in a trench. I gotta dig a trench anyways for the electrical, so I can dig a second trench for the drain too.
Piping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. You gotta put a pipe in it, yeah. I think that'll solve your problem, this problem.
And I just talked to my brother this week, Wednesday, going over to cut the trees.
Good for me. Drainage, that was it for me.
Yeah, that's good. It's very good. Anybody else in the audience? Do I have a motion?
Make the motion with the conditions that you dig a trench, that's gonna go into the
Existing.
existing tile,
Drain tiles.
main tiles,
Okay,
all right, and that's it.
To the transit roads.
And
Or to
connect-
the Transit Road.
Sewer line.
storm sewer.
Storm.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, motion by Mr. Young, second by
Aye.
Hammer. So a motion to grant the variance as requested with the condition that drain tiles from the new building be tied into your existing drain tiles that go out to Transit Road to avoid flooding. Okay. And the motion, Mrs. Hammer, Mr. Young,
Aye.
Ms. Alt,
Aye.
and I'll go with aye. You're all set.
Okay, thank you.
Mary Stanek, or Spruce Wood, Mr. Bruce Wood.
Valerie is my wife,
Okay,
so I came. My name is Moon Hyun Chu, CHU. Yeah, CHU.
The applicant Valerie Stanek of 4 Sprucewood Drive proposes building a single-family home on a lot that is under width and under area where zoning law permits it if granted by the zoning board of appeals. You have the floor, sir.
I'm sorry.
You have the floor. You may talk about your project.
Um, we bought this property about 2 years ago. And then planning to build a little house and maybe move in.
So do you own that whole parcel?
No, that's the right side of it. There is a little drawings there. It's about 1,800 square feet, 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath, 1 car garage. So similar sizes of surrounding houses.
Somebody already come. Or the first to build a house, I know.
We've had a couple like that.
The same crap.
Is it?
Maybe it's this, I don't know.
It was three.
Yeah, so the property, so he's this property here, because there's a, right here, if this was split into 2 lots, 3 and 4. You guys did approve this for 3 a couple of months ago. But it is separate, they're not the same individual. I think if you look at the,
Separate properties.
they're split roughly about the same size.
You have a driveway?
Yeah, that the little notched area is pretty much that's garage there, and then go straight in. I mean, there is no driveway, but we will have a driveway, about 20 feet of a driveway from the street.
You said a garage?
Garage, 1 car garage, yeah.
How big is the house?
About 1,800 square feet.
800?
1800.
1,800.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have a
Two-story?
2-story. I have a my architect is doing not complete, but I have some other drawings I can show you. Can I show you? So this is first. Second. But we're not going to have this bathrooms. Each bedroom has a
Bathroom.
but we're not going to have that. But one master bedroom has a
Bathroom.
and then one of them is public. So
Okay.
it's, and then there's pretty open.
This is, you said 2 stories?
Yeah, 2-story, yeah.
That's upstairs, and then there is another one. Right. So
You have a
40
picture?
40 feet apart.
Modern looking.
Yes, so.
See, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it fits the character of the neighborhood. Because that's what they did on board, like across from my mother.
Uh-huh.
Entrance.
Okay.
The street is here.
Uh-huh.
Entrance and the garage here, or the garage.
Okay.
And then there's the kitchen, dining. We're on the top of
Mhm. Okay, looks good.
and then
Okay.
and this one, so we're not gonna have this bathroom. So basically this is bedroom.
Mhm.
Bedroom. Bathroom for this, and
Mhm.
bathroom for this one for the master suite.
Got it.
And then
Okay. That's beautiful. Thank you.
It's gonna look similar to the houses in the neighborhood.
It's more modern, siding. Maybe I will do metal roofing, so some more modern. Yeah, cable end. Um, I can show you that what inspired by one of so I have some picture of
Finish first.
Yeah. Oh, this is so many pictures here.
I wonder if I could change that.
Oh, what did the variance?
What we can do is we can have you come back next month.
Hmm.
We can have you come back next month with a rendition.
Uh, next month, commit drawings. Drawings.
Yeah. Some sort of rendition of what it would look like.
Oh, okay. Here
We want to make sure it's in a neighborhood.
I found it. It's not exactly like this, but it's more like cable end.
It's, like you said, more modern.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the house on Fortin Road? There's a modern one like that.
Yeah.
You don't know where that is, okay. It's just the character of the neighborhood. You know, if you're gonna be, what you wanna build is gonna change the character of the neighborhood.
I think that's improved.
But it won't fit in.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to
So,
say.
so this, here, so for the modified, it's not keep roof and then cantilever down like this. Gable end. This pretty much 40 feet long, 26 feet wide, rectangular, and the gable end not Spanish style, like that.
But the house next door to you is only one story and it's very low.
Do we have any neighbors here?
Is there anyone else to speak about it? It would be nice if you could come back next month and,
We got a
Yeah.
good idea though. We got a pretty good idea.
you think?
So it's gonna be gable end, small fitting today. I think so. I mean, if I come back next month, then drawings, the renovation will be, I can do that.
It's gonna be similar to that.
Similar.
That looks pretty, that looks big though for that space.
It's an 800.
How wide is it gonna be, the house? 26 wide.
Well, that is on the here
We're supposed to be what, 60? And a buildable lot 60 feet? 60 or 65. Yeah. Well, that's the question.
So whether it fits in the neighborhood, that the style.
So like I said, I can, this is not exact, picture of the house. It's more simpler, neighborhood. A very, very straightforward neighborhood house.
I like you.
Me too.
Thank you. That's once. Okay.
Anybody in the neighborhood wish to comment? Okay, I'll make a motion to table till next month
Next month, okay.
for July, let me see, July 15th. I don't remember. Yep, July 15th.
Okay, so it's not gonna be construction document for like the permit, but it'll show elevation, front elevation, side elevation, and then floor plan.
And
Is
you
it
did a
good?
Picture of the house.
Right, so elevation of it. So yeah, I'm sorry?
What the house will look like.
Yes, yeah. So drawings, yeah,
Well, an actual,
actual
Look,
drawings, scaled
yeah,
drawings,
right.
yes, uh-huh.
okay.
My architect is working on it, so he hasn't gotten that far yet, so.
And the motion, Mrs. Hammer.
I'll make a motion.
No, I've made a motion already. Yeah, we're voting on the motion. Aye. Mr. Young, Ms. Alt.
Aye.
Now vote aye. We'll see you next month.
Okay, 7:50, July
15th.
15th, 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Okay.
You'll be first.
Thank you very much.
Is our show row 78 Colette.
Hi, good evening. I'm Isaac Showrob from 78 Quality Avenue. So,
Hold on,
Okay,
let me
hold
read
on.
your request.
And morning or good afternoon or evening, board. I'm Jeff Waltz. I live at 74 Clyde. I'm his next door neighbor.
Okay,
The applicant is her Shora
yes,
of 78 Colette Avenue, proposes a new carport which will be 1 foot from the property line, whereas zoning law requires a minimum of 5 feet. You have the floor.
yeah, that's why we're here right now. So when we talk my neighbor, so we just changed our mind. So we don't want to make the carport right now. So behind I have a 20 space. So I want to make a garage in my backyard. So because I don't have any garage. So when the winter time is coming, so it's very hard for me to park the car. That's why my neighbor with me right now, so we can talk about that issue. Because my property line to his property line is 12 feet. So I just want to leave 1 feet so I can make a garage in my backyard so I can park the car. That's why we are here together.
So, yeah, so he's withdrawing the carport because it's obviously not in the zoning. So he withdraws that. And so what he wants to do now is, you can, I'll show you in a second. We got a picture of what he wants to do. And again, talk about the character.
It would need to be completely new and start from scratch. So
we're gonna have to have
Talk about the character of the neighborhood and things, right? this is what the neighborhood, the neighborhood, the 5 block neighborhood that we live in.
All we're saying is you gotta come back next month. We need a new variance. Because this is different.
Okay,
So we need to start from scratch again.
so he just needs to file for a permit for the garage.
Right.
Right, okay,
Yeah. Same
yeah,
thing you did before, right?
Can't just
Okay.
change it.
You Jeffrey?
yes.
Okay.
Have to come back to building inspection or no?
Yeah.
So
So we need,
I like he wants to build the garage now, okay? Because the carport was, we sent our letter in, right? So you got our letter. And being so close to our house, it would have definitely done, with the foundation, the bubbler system, brand new, we had put in, everything's working fine. So, with that said, he said, okay, I do a garage. So he wants to be, if it's like a foot, now I don't know what the zoning's going to be from my fence, but I've seen it in the neighborhood where we live. That's supposed to be 5 feet too? Okay.
so as a, hold on. As a standalone accessory structure, I'm assuming this would be a detached garage, not an attached garage?
A detached.
Okay, so as a detached garage, as a standalone accessory structure, it can be as little as 3 feet from the side property line if the wall is fire rated. And otherwise, if it's not going to be fire rated, which would be 5/8 inch type X drywall along any property line, then it would have to be 5 feet from the property line. The existing structure would still have to be 10 feet from the house, from the principal dwelling as well. And then depending on the size of the garage, you could be looking at a variance for the overall square footage. The other thing is, would there be an extension? So if you figure that we've got to be at least some feet away from the house, you're looking at far back, so you're looking at a need to extend the driveway as well to meet the garage, correct? Because it looks from the survey, the driveway ends even with the house. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so if we're building the garage back, but we have to extend the driveway, that's going to be within 5 feet of the property line. So there would need to be at least a variance for that. But it all depends on the size of the garage and where exactly it can be located. Could be as close as 3 feet if you wanted to fire rate the wall. If not, it would need to be 5.
Okay, yeah, because that structure that there's now, that was put up by a couple hacks when they turned the house. They came in, redid it, turned it, and I came home from work one day and that thing was already up. That shouldn't even, but that's that's no big deal. Yeah, so okay. Yeah, well, we're set because you got our letter, and so I didn't know the zoning when me and Mr. Shoveroff, I call him Shoveroff, when Shoveroff and I were speaking. But once it got to that 1 foot, it was like, no, it'd be too much damage. And then again, so his garage where he's going to put, so the driveway does have to touch the garage, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so you're going to have to extend because his garage is only 16 feet long. So it won't be near his house. So that's one good thing. So the only thing you'll have to do is extend your driveway.
You can meet with them and figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to get another permit.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to withdraw this one.
Yes, withdraw this. Yes. Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
I have to appear.
You can if you want.
Because my big thing was just to appear with the carport and just make sure that wasn't going to float, So as long as that's taken care of, as far as the garage goes, I mean, I don't have any issues with any of that because that's pretty much as far as the character of the neighborhood. You walk around our neighborhood, you see that. You see the garages, that aren't connected to the house. They're sitting back like that. So I wouldn't have any issue with that at all.
Okay, so it's up to you whether you'll come or not. You'll be notified again.
Okay, all right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, have a good night. Thank you.
Edward and Mary Kotowski, 61 Hillpine.
Good evening, all.
Just name and address.
61 Hellpine Road, Cheektowaga.
We read your request.
227.
The applicant Edward and Mary Gutowski at 61 Hill Pine Road propose a driveway expansion that is 2 feet from the property line, where zoning law requires a minimum of 5 feet. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you. Just a little bit of history. Back in 2003, we actually had the main portion of the driveway widened. We went through the same process with the variance. The neighbors all approved, and the neighbor approves of this one also. He got the notification. So basically what we're going to replace and expand is the apron to the driveway that meets the street, and several pieces of sidewalk which border that between the driveway and the proposed apron.
So just the apron.
Sidewalk here. Street marking paint just to put a line and
Okay, did you see that?
so basically the expansion of the apron will match the modified driveway. The line was marked for curb cut. Paperwork was turned into highway. The superintendent came and looked at it and the result was fine. He approved it. So all we need to do now is, with your approval, we can contact our person that's going to perform the thing and to do the apron, and then I think it's Buffalo Curb Cutters that comes and does the curb cut itself.
Anybody in the audience wish to comment? Okay, do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion to grant the variance as requested with a copy of the highway superintendent's.
We have it. We have a copy. Yes, we do. It's in there.
Part of the packet.
Second.
I'll second.
Second.
Okay. The motion by Mr. Young, second by Ms. Alt, to grant the variance as requested. Ms. Hammer.
Aye.
Mr. Young.
Aye.
Ms. Alt.
Aye.
Now go aye. You're all set.
Thank you all.
Nicolette Falk, 79 Clearvale.
Good evening.
Evening.
So I am Nicolette Falk at 79 Clearvale Drive.
Okay, I want to read your.
Can you read your request?
What?
I'm going to read your request.
I'm sorry.
The applicant Nicolette Falk of 79 Clearvale Drive proposes building a new garage that would be 2 feet from the side property line, whereas zoning law requires a minimum of 5 feet. The second request is Nicolette Falk of 79 Clearvale Drive proposes building a new garage that would be 2 feet from the rear property line, whereas zoning law requires a minimum of 5 feet. You have the floor.
So the reason why I am building a new garage, and I have the pictures here, the garage that was already there was 100% unstructurally sound. I'm gonna show you why. These are the cinder blocks that were there. As you can see, what's been happening. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So I just take it down, and there's the garage floor. So everything is just completely disintegrating. And then when I bought the house, obviously I don't need a microphone. Sorry, there was a shed that was attached to it, which I'm sure isn't on the pictures. But this is the shed that was attached to it.
And when you walked in there, it was nothing but mud floor. So what I've already done was I've already taken down my old garage. I've already had all my site work done. I have 14 ton of stone that's been brought in, ripped out the old flooring. The foundation, everything of the old garage is gone. I talked to my neighbors next door. They're like, go for it. I just want my garage back so I can put all my Halloween decorations in it, my Christmas decorations. I have them scattered out. My neighbors don't care, and that's all I got. Please, grant.
Question I got is why can't you have 5 feet from the rear property line? Why 2 feet? You can move it up.
It's going in the exact same spot as where it was.
Oh, it
So
is.
what is already there, I took that out and I'm plopping a new one right back in where it was. The footprint's gonna be exactly the
Exact same
same.
size.
Yeah, I'm going, what is it? 26 wide, 22 deep, 10 foot walls, which will still keep me under that 12-foot. I don't know what you call it, the 12-foot thingamabob.
Building height.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah,
Where's, is it wet back there? Where's the water going?
well, I gotta put gutters on it. I mean, I never had a problem with the existing garage that was there with any water. I mean, it drains out right into my yard. So,
So it's not gonna be draining out to neighbors. It's gonna be coming back.
no, I'm gonna put it on my yard.
Okay.
Yeah, this way I can get free water.
Okay.
And we want to make sure that you don't drain on your neighbor's property.
Absolutely.
It's got to drain on your property.
Yeah.
Anybody in the audience wish to comment? Have a motion?
I'll make the motion to grant the variance as requested.
Second that.
Motion, Mr. Young, second by Ms. Salt, to grant both variances, right?
Both variances.
Both variances as requested. Mrs. Sammer,
Aye.
Mr. Young,
Aye.
Ms. Salt,
Aye.
now vote aye. You're all set.
Well, beans, I can order it. Thank you.
Luck.
Have a great night.
You too.
Stamal Hussein, 33 Vern. Sorry if I mispronounced your name.
Good. Good evening, everybody. My name is Itasimul Hassan, and I'm from 33 Vern Lane. And
We're going to read your request.
yeah, sure.
For property located at 33 Vern Lane, the applicant Osamo
Itasimul.
Hassan of
Yeah.
33 Vern Lane proposes a driveway expansion that is 8 feet in front of the principal dwelling, where zoning law does not allow it. You have the floor.
Okay, so I recently bought the house last year, and I have a single driveway at this moment. So I didn't know about the snowban situation in that particular street. So one day I got a parking ticket and parking violation. It says I can't park on the street during the snowban time, but I have like 4 cars in my household. So yeah. My dad lives there. My wife has 2 cars because one of them is her government car. So she has her personal car. So we managed to park on our my sweet neighbor's house. But eventually my driveway needed to be expanded because I can't do that. I can park my car right now, but when the snowman hits again and I'm in the same problem again. So I've decided to make a request to expand the driveway.
There's a door here. What's between that door in the wall?
Garage ends. Yeah.
Garage?
Yes.
Does that go into the garage or into the house?
Yeah, it goes to the garage.
It's the garage.
So that's the wall of the house.
Yes.
Much farther past that door are you gonna go? Because you can go up to the door without a variance.
Okay.
Watch your step there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So where would you end up? On the other side of that door? Where are we talking? Okay,
Anybody in the audience wishes to comment? I have a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the variance as presented.
Okay, I got a motion by Mrs. No, they can't do it in front of the door. No, you'd be all right. We've done it before. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, I have a motion by Mrs. Hammer, second by Mr. Young. Yeah. To grant the variance as requested. On the motion, Mrs. Hammer,
Aye.
Mr. Young,
aye.
Ms. Alt,
Aye.
and I vote aye. You're all set.
Thank you so much. Night.
James Crispin, 16 Old Farm Road.
Good evening.
Evening.
My name is James Crispin at 16 Old Farm Court.
Wait your request.
Yes.
The applicant James Christman of 16 Old Farm Court proposes a 6.5-foot driveway expansion that will be 3 feet from the property line, whereas zoning law requires a minimum of 5 feet. You have the floor.
Thank you. Similar to the prior gentleman, we have we have 4 vehicles in our house. It was fine when we moved there 22 years ago and the kids were little. They're now teenagers and 22, and so we now have the additional vehicles. And my house has a single car driveway, single wide, but can fit 2 long, which is fine. But with the additional vehicles, it's difficult to fit. In addition to that, my driveway, I have photos here I could give you if you'd like. The driveway is in 1,000 pieces and I need to replace it. And I figured if I'm going to replace it, why not make it a little bit wider to accommodate the vehicle need? My neighbors on both sides have double wide driveways, so it would fit in with the neighborhood. And what I'm looking to do, the variance is a little bit off with the request that was listed there. I'll explain that. I am looking to go 6.5 feet to the one side to match a walkway that goes up the side of the house. That'll match the end of that, which is on the right side. And then I'm going 1.5 feet to the left for a total of 18 feet wide is what I'm looking to do to fit 4 vehicles.
1.5 feet to the left, that's gonna encompass that little wall there, that little wall area?
It will be, I could show you. I have, if I could show you, I drew out what I'm doing. This is part of the survey where I enlarged it to show what I'm at. The yellow is what I'm looking to add.
So on here, look here,
It will be 6.5 feet to match
Right.
that edge right there.
right?
With 1.5 on this.
So it's gonna take where that lamp is, it's gonna come down.
Oh, there's no lamp. That's a post for the porch.
Oh,
that.
Or the,
Yes, I'm sorry. It'll be
So
right
it'll-
about to the edge of, it will not go past the brick.
Okay, that's what I mean.
Yeah, it will not go past that.
okay.
This part here is not in front of the house.
It is.
It's not, yeah.
He said it won't go past the brick.
It will not go past the brick on the side of the garage. And I did get approval already from the highway department for widening the apron. They came and marked it. And I also have an additional letter from a neighbor on the driveway side. I don't know if you received it.
We have it, right.
Mike Bielanen. Yes, he gives full permission. Has no problem with it at all. The problem that I have, the reason for the variance is the 5-foot requirement from the property line. It'll be up to 3 feet from the property line.
No closer.
No closer. Just to the edge of that
Right.
sidewalk, exactly there. And I will be replacing the 2 sides of the sidewalk as well that are
Right.
cracked.
Anybody in the audience wishes to comment? Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion to grant the variance as requested.
Second.
Mr. Young, second by Mrs. Amber.
Before it's approved, if I could just, say, as requested, just show 6.5 feet. It doesn't show the other 1.5 on the other side.
Yeah. Yeah, and you don't need a variance for that.
Okay.
As long as it's in front of the garage.
Yes. Okay, perfect.
You're okay. And then on the motion, Mrs. Amber,
Aye.
Mr. Young,
Aye.
Ms. Alt,
Aye.
I vote aye. You're all
Thank
set.
you. Have a good night.
Good night.
Matthew Edwards, Buffalo Niagara Transformer.
Good evening.
Good evening. Last but not least.
Yes, no problem.
That's what I like to see.
My name is Matthew Edwards, Architect Design Manager for Buffalo Construction Consultants. I'm here with Stan Hatch from Niagara Power Transformer.
Whereas Buffalo Construction Consultants, on behalf of the owner, Niagara Power Transformer Company for local permit 2026-2203 at the parcel 1746 Dale Road, Cheektowaga, New York, proposes a 40.8-foot front yard setback where the local law requires a 50-foot setback for front yard required open spaces. You have the floor.
Thank you. As you recall, we were in front of you last month on the parcels of 1755 and 1744. And you graciously granted those variances as well. So recently, Niagara Power Transformer has taken ownership of 1746 as well, and that's kind of why the 1 month delay. So what we're here before you is Niagara Power Transformer is proposing a roughly 23,000 square foot addition to expand their operations. That building would be connected to the existing roughly 20,000 square foot brick building that you see right here. So the intent is to, again, expand the operations as relates to the sites to the south. In doing that, we plan Niagara Power Transform plans to combine the parcels with 1746 being the lead parcel. With that being said, the front yard variance would be on Dale Road. So in lieu of the 50-foot, we're requesting a 40-foot, 0.8-foot setback to really maximize square footage of the building for their operations, as well as site circulation for the trucks and the items that'd be turning around. As it relates to the Anderson Road elevation, we propose to actually set back the facade about 5 feet from the existing building. So we will not progress on Anderson. It will not go in front of the existing facade. As well as we talked about earlier, we did review this with development review for all 3 parcels, and that got sort of approved at the planning side. And then also we've met with the EAC on all 3 parcels as well. So we're kind of coming to before you for ZBA on this one. So they were kind of contingent on ZBA for the development review. And then also like to add, early in the month, we did get town board approval for the parcels at 1755.
I'm looking at your drawing here, same as that.
Yeah, sure.
And they got a variance there of 24 feet from Anderson Road. What is that?
So what when we put that on there because at the time when we were combining the parcels, we didn't know which one was going to be the front yard. And based on the Cheektowaga town code, it's based on the parcel address. So we've been working with the assessor to have the Dale Road be the lead parcel. So that's why we kind of put both on there, but we submitted for the 40.8 from the Dale Road parcel.
So you don't need that one then?
No. Again, I believe since that's considered a side yard, so we're more than more back by 24 feet from the side yard, and I think the setback is 15 on side yards.
Great project. Great.
Oh yes, I think we submitted also. We'll be improving the streetscape with greenery and some trees along Dale Road. Maybe it's not in there, but yes, there's a set of trees along Dale Road. Yep. There'd be very limited park. I don't think there's any parking except along the existing, along this side. There's some existing parking right there. And as you recall, when we came before you prior, Niagara Power Transformer, you know, they've bought 1746, 24 Anderson, 25 Anderson, and will be utilizing the shared parking across common parcels to you know, park all the employees.
Looks like nobody's in the audience. I have a motion. I'll make a motion to grant the variance as requested.
I'll second it.
Motion by myself, second by Mr. Young, to grant the variance as requested. Mrs. Hammer,
Aye.
Mr. Young,
Aye.
Ms. Holt,
Aye.
I'll vote aye. You're all set.
Thank you very
Good
much.
luck with your project.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
What time we signing off?
Okay, I'm going to adjourn. Seconded. On favor? Aye.
Aye.